Muslim Brotherhood is one of Egypt's largest Islamic organizations. Its main goal is to create a state ruled by Sharia law. In addition, its slogan is, quote, "Islam is the solution." And up until the 70s, the group had been involved in assassination attempts as well as planned bombings. And while the United States no longer considers the Muslim Brotherhood to be a foreign terrorist organization, Osama bin Laden's top deputy, Ayman al-Zawahiri, was a member of the group. Even the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, he joined the Muslim Brotherhood in Kuwait at 16, as did bin Laden. And how does the administration treat this organization? Well, back in April, a delegation of Muslim Brotherhood officials, they met with White House staffers. How appropriate. I think it's time for the president to get a backbone, denounce this group, and also, what are they going to do at this point? Joining me with reaction is the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Culture of Corruption, Michelle Malkin. Michelle, when you looked at the middle of the height of this Arab Spring and Tahrir Square, where American reporters were getting punched in the face, we remember the Lara Logan raped in Tahrir Square, beaten to within an inch of her life, and she told her story. There were some in the media, in the punditry class, and the president and the vice president telling the world democracy as the president helped push Mubarak out. Now we're giving the Muslim Brotherhood $1.5 billion and meetings in the White House. And the president fails to acknowledge that what happened yesterday was the result of Islamic radical extremists. I want to get your reaction.
Right. That's right. He won't say those words. He won't acknowledge the coddling that this administration is responsible for and the subsidizing with taxpayer dollars of the kind of Islamic violent agitation that we are now seeing. Keep in mind that the political arm of the Muslim Brotherhood, the so-called Freedom and Justice Party, is the one that's instigating now all of these so-called peaceful protests that are going to erupt from now through Friday, through next Friday, and every Friday, because every Friday in the jihad world, it's Riot Friday against anything anti-Western. Pretext is the word of the day, the word of the century here, because any perceived insult that can be exploited to castigate, to demonize, and to provoke violence against the West is the agenda of this group, Muslim Brotherhood, and all of its affiliates. Jihad is our way as part of their official slogan. Death for the sake of Allah is what they strive for. And the network of Wahhabi-subsidized groups that have been offshoots of Muslim Brotherhood across this country, it's very important that people understand that. What was 9/11 about? It's not about will we ever forget, never forget. It's will we ever learn. It's the Muslim Student Association. It's the ISNA. It's the Muslim American Society. It's all of the groups that the Bush Justice Department helped prosecute then. But of course, whether it's a Republican State Department or a Democratic State Department, you've got this attitude of dimitude that is killing Americans abroad and threatened us here at home.
But the president now is sucking up to the Muslim Brotherhood. They get invited to the White House. They get American taxpayer dollars, etc. They push Mubarak out, paving the way for the Brotherhood. This is their definition of democracy. How is it possible that the president didn't read the Pew poll, didn't read the other polls, that the people of Egypt wanted Sharia law, that they wanted a theocracy? How is it possible, with all of his intelligence, we sit here on the set of Fox News Channel, we predicted with pinpoint accuracy what would happen? The president, with all his resources, got it wrong, and to this day can't admit it, and he's off campaigning in Vegas.
Well, it's willful and deliberate whitewashing of the civilizational threats that face us. And I was completely disgusted by the clip that you showed at the beginning of your show, Sean, because these optics suck, White House. I mean, we have 4 Americans who are dead, who were butchered and slaughtered because this administration did not have the foresight to fortify these embassies on the 11th anniversary of 9/11. And there he is with all of his fanboys and fangirls in Vegas raising money while they scream, "I love you," in the middle of an international crisis. And how about his statement this afternoon in the Rose Garden? He couldn't muster up a single flash of anger or outrage that these Americans are dead now. tough day. Woe is me. The bloodlessness of his statement makes my blood boil, and it should make every American's blood boil, especially in this week, which was a tough week for all of the 3,000 families of the people who died on 9/11.
This is why everybody's blood should be boiling. Everybody. Because for 9.5 hours, the official position of the Obama administration State Department was an official apology to the people that breached our embassy and ripped down our flag. And he said, and we apologize to them? We apologize to them?
Their knee-jerk response is, it's whitewash. It always has been whitewash. What did the State Department do? What did the U.S. Embassy do after they were caught with this ridiculous statement that the White House cut and ran from? They tried to delete it. And thanks to social media, we had it at our site at twitchy.com, those deleted tweets that they tried to bury down the memory hole. And then we have this feckless lapdog media that's conspiring to make this whole issue about Romney instead of about Obama. It's on his hands. The buck stops with you, buddy.
Right, Michelle Malkin. Coming up tonight, we're going to continue to monitor the ongoing situation out of Cairo tonight. Protesters at this hour gathering outside of the U.S. Embassy. The crowds seem to be growing larger. We're seeing fires being set, firecrackers, perhaps.